this far to make our point, and we're going to go back to the main road. Okay, having done that,
Let's go, folks.
to wait. We just at the point of doing that.
Isn't it a public invitation?
We're going to go back.
It's a public event.
It's on Facebook everywhere. It's on. The man.
We're going to go back. We just want to say that
You guys are full
we're here
of
to
shit.
make our point. Okay, our
Shut up.
opposition to dictatorship in Fiji.
We all shit, okay?
We were invited, mate. We were invited by the man himself. The man himself invited us.
Okay,
Bainimarama is
in the
doing
murder
everything
of
good.
the
Good work.
various
Killing
people.
people.
Okay, he's
Good for you,
ordered
probably.
the murders of various people in Fiji. We know
Why are
that.
you here?
Why?
Why are you here?
We're just going to make the point.
Why are you here?
Go back and wait.
Why you
Why
here?
are you here?
Why you here? Tell us.
Why are you here?
I'm going back to vote for him.
Why are you here?
Why you New Zealand?
Okay, so we're going to do that now. We're going to go and wait at the front because he hasn't arrived. But just to let you know, the guy is a criminal, he's a dictator. He hasn't got the mandate to be ruling Fiji. That is the truth, that is the fact. No one can dispute that.
When do we want it?
Now! Okay.
Who is here?
Bainimarama.
What is he?
Prime Minister. Prime Minister. Bainimarama. Prime Minister.
What is he? Do you want him here? Who is here? What is he? Do we want him here? Okay. Okay, let's move back to the front entrance. We're going to wait for him when he comes, all right? And then, of course, it's a public event, so we can then put away our placard and all go inside, and then go and ask him questions. If he allow us to ask
If he's
questions.
got the guts to answer them. Okay, let's go, folks.
If you can answer.
Go and answer John
Okay,
Key.
let's go to the front entrance and wait there.
John Lee brought us here.
Come on, let's go back. Come on, let's go.
We want democracy.
Okay, come on, let's go back to the front entrance. Okay, let's come back to the front road. Okay, front entrance. Remember, we can all come in. Let's try and wait for the dictator. Okay, the front entrance.
Who invited this dictator in this speech?
Well, then what's the media is there? What is the public? Yeah, what about these people? What they're doing here? That shows how coward he is. Coward, Bainimarama. Coward. He is a coward.
Prime Minister, Fiji.
Yeah.
Move back.
Yeah, but this guy has blood on his hand. He even swears at the Indians. What the hell is talking about? He's a coward, doesn't have the guts to answer us. Yeah. Tell him he's a coward. Doesn't have the guts to answer the public. He's doing the same thing in Fiji, controlling the media. It's shame on the Fijians. Go and support dictatorship.
I've been told not to worry about the devils.
Shame. That's what I can say. Shame on the Indian community and the Fijian community supporting the coup maker and supporting the Fiji First Party. They take away our religion, they take away our church, they take everything from us. How can we give this guy a chance? What the heck is talking about? He was saying you are welcome here. He's going to answer the question. He's a coward. Tell him to go back to Fiji. Stay in the fucking army camp. Coward. That's what he is. Because in Fiji all the media are controlled and he doesn't answer questions to Fiji. We want to know what was the false promise he made to the people of Fiji.
What do we want?
He said no military inventory, no government.
What do we want?
People in the Indian government will be allowed to stand in the election. He will give a transparent, accountable government. He said he will take one commander salary. He's paying himself $1 million with payouts. Right? And he said he will uphold the 1997 Constitution. It was the mandate of the president. What is all this? Now new Constitution? We don't have God in our Constitution? What is this guy trying to prove? He's taken away our country. He's taken away our freedom. He's taken away our God. What else do you want?
I have another term for them. They are nothing but a bunch of losers.
to tell us what happened at the army camp?
Yes, that took me in. You
And
know
what
it,
happened,
Ashley.
and
That
what
took me
happened
in.
afterwards? Someone tell us.
Yeah, because he was Lamu. You asked him. He was scared.
No.
He-
What exactly happened? What
Dad
exactly
took me to
happened?
the army camp to
And
question
then-
me and told me to zip my mouth. I said, no one can zip my mouth.
Was there any physical contact?
Well, they can't touch me because I had my friends, Mara and Riti, there to help me out.
Who are Mara and Riti? Who are they?
You know nicely, man.
on,
Stop
dude.
asking stupid questions. Mara and
Oh,
Riti.
what's so stupid about that?
Yeah,
I'm
you know,
asking
you
you
know
what
Mara
happened
and
there.
Riti nicely. What the heck you talking
I'm
about?
asking you what happened
He's
there.
been
Tell
using
us.
people. He's been using people. Frank has been using people. Even he used Mara and Riti in the military for the personal gain, and they kicked them out. What kind of guy is he? This is the kind of people you want them to run the country?
Are you allowed back in the country now?
They blacklisted me.
They have blacklisted.
Yeah.
On what basis?
Yeah, you got ask him.
Well, you would have been given a justification.
No, they didn't give any justification.
They've just blacklisted you.
Yeah.
So
So other people are blacklisted.
So if you end up in Fiji tomorrow, what will happen to you?
Oh, I'll be most probably in the army camp and be killed. You ask Ben Naliva there, he'll be able to answer you. There, he's going away. Bodyguard. It's our country, dear. And it saddens me to say, and Akash, you've seen that text, and I showed it to Sanjay. What Frank Bainimarama text about the Indian community. Remember what he said? Sorry, it's offensive language, but I'll say it. He said, Indian are motherfuckers, they're praying to Tavoro. Tavoro means they're praying to Satan. This is the kind of Indian want to support this kind of guy? I want to tell him straight. If he wants fair and free election, bring back the 1997 constitution, go back to the 2009 April court ruling, bring the 1997 constitution, get the foreign observers, get the foreign supervisor of election, and have an election under free and fair under the legal 1997
It
constitution.
sounds like you don't have faith in the upcoming elections.
Yeah, we don't. We don't.
What are you trying to say? You're trying to
Because this election is a sham. He's got his own constitution, first line on the people. His first line, the constitution on the people. You know. Did he get approval from the people? No, he didn't. He didn't get any approval for the constitution. So he first line the constitution on the people.
want democracy for Fiji.
And many other.
And people like Indians, brother. You, Dinesh, you go read what he told about Indians. Shame on you guys. Shame on you Indians, man. I'm an Indian too. You feel shame when somebody disgraces your God and you get stuck on it. He's standing with his bike.
What do we want? Where do we want it? Where do we want it? Do we want it here? Okay. Let's wait for the police. We're going to listen to what he's going to say, right? Remember we said it's going to be a local peaceful protest. That shouldn't stop us making our point against the dictator. Okay? Remember those of you who are here are standing up. Those you will enable voice in opposition. You are here because you've got the guts to stand up to dictatorship. Bainimarama, Shamuadat, who've been known to have tortured civilians in Fiji.
If Rabuka came today, all the Indians would have come and supported.
What do we want? Where do we want it? What do we want? Where do we want it? What do we want? Democracy. Where do we want it? Where do we want it? What do we want? Democracy. Where do we want it? Where do we want it? Now. Who is here? What is he? Do we want him here? No. Who is here?
अगर कोई माई और भगवान की गाड़ी दे हाँ? No, I'm telling you because you guys are coward. Don't worry.
DJ Texman.
Ladies whistle bolta. बोला Bainimarama बोला नहीं तुम बोला उसके छात्र तुम बोला
कमेंट नहीं पास हो जो जैसा करता
हम बोला
Bainimarama
हमने देखा हम बोला Bainimarama अरे कितना देरी संभव Bainimarama तुमने नहीं बोला Bainimarama तुमने बताइए I'm not chick pussy. I'm not chick pussy. I'm not chick pussy.
Don't worry about him, man. Support this government. But of course we're gonna do things.
नहीं तो ऐसे नहीं बोला जाए चाटो
तो हमें क्या चिक पास करें
नहीं
नहीं
अच्छा नहीं लगे सुना किसके चाटी
हैं
नहीं किसके चाटी
जैसे चिक पास
नहीं look my wife standing here ऐसे बात नहीं कर
government
तुम कहाँ के आदमी है पीछे के
बस भैया
नहीं समझ नहीं
मिलजुल बोलो प्यार से खा रही हो रे चिक पास
नहीं बोले चाटो मैं बोले चाटो
कैसे तुम
Freedom of speech.
हाथ को उठाइए
बच्चे वो
जो Bainimarama का गैंग शुरू होना है शांति रहो मैं तो बताया जाए उसमें नहीं आदमी है उसके डायरेक्ट पूछा जी तुम लोग क्या मुझे बॉल में जाए ना हम लोग यहाँ खड़ा है मकसद है हम लोग के खड़ा है मकसद आई शुड नो डायरेक्ट बात करेगा मतलब उसमें खड़ा है बट डोंट शो है पीछे खड़ा रहा मतलब जब पीछे
Yeah, get him out. Get him out. This one. This one too. Next one is this one. Next one is good.
मैंने करूँ तुम लोग खाली यहाँ वही लोग मंगता रहे जो वही बात ऊपर रहा है That's not fair.
नहीं
That's not fair. हाँ कुछ नहीं बोला हम साथ ही खड़ा हम बात कर रहे हैं That's not right.
बात करो शांति से
भैया कोई रोक चीज
हम लोग वही का बात करें भाई भाई से इनवाइट करें तो क्या बोले तुम बोला वो अभी 50 रेडी था तुम लोग यहाँ बात करेगा नहीं बुलाना वहाँ 900,000 आदमी बैठा है फिजी में वो 350,000 पे इंडिया हुआ भी है
But he has done a lot for the Indians. He has done what he has done nobody has done.
एक साइड बात करना है
नहीं one side.
एक साइड बात करना
अच्छा कौन करी से भाई बात
कौन सी
कौन करी से
वही तो बोलता कौन करी से
हमारा करी
नहीं
गोली गोली बिल पास
87 किसी किसी लोग मिला चौधरी जो करी चौधरी 87
अपने लड़के चला अपने लड़के
अरे तो भगवान की गाड़ी दे No, I'm telling you because you guys are coward. Don't worry.
DJ Texman.
Another big welcome for the Prime Minister of Fiji.
the side of the road with banners protesting about democracy. This is true democracy. But I was trying to find every little reason not to come. Because for two reasons. One, I heard it was going to be 2 degrees in Auckland on Sunday morning. And the other, I heard it was going to, there was going to be a downpour. So I was a little bit worried about coming on a plane, a bit of turbulence. But I came by Air New Zealand, 777, nice big plane, a little bit bigger than Fiji Airways. But it was nice weather throughout. And of course, I didn't feel the 2 degrees this morning. It was a wonderful Sunday morning. And it's been made more wonderful to come out here and see you, Fijian people here in New Zealand, especially in Auckland. Thank you.
Excuse me.
And when I mentioned the bit about protesters standing on the side of the road with flags about true democracy, and I said that this is the democracy that we've been waiting for, people of Fiji. And it is always of interest to me to see my Indo-Fijian brothers and sisters as part of those protesting groups. Because this is what that has brought everybody together and identified everyone, especially the Indo-Fijians, as Fijians. in Fiji. But then I remember that some of those people standing on the side of the road have been removed from my government. They associate Fiji First with my government, and they have been removed for some corrupt practice or another. They have not been satisfied with what my government has done, probably in terms of their district infrastructure. So I have to understand all this. But it gives me much pleasure to be here this afternoon, and I would like to thank you for being here. I'm here, as you know, as the leader of Fiji First. In 2 weeks, I will be visiting Sydney for exactly the same reason, just to update you, my supporters, of what we've been doing back home in the last 5-6 years and where we're heading. In our political meetings in Fiji, we keep our meetings very informal and allow more time for question and answer session. And I would like to follow a similar format here. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, as I've said, we have a new constitution in Fiji which has been in force since September 2013. This constitution is very dear to my heart personally. And I thank the Lord that the people of Fiji has endorsed it. Our institution has been hailed, our constitution has been hailed as a leading constitution. Go kuchikanda kamni na turang kina marama na bitiwo. Go. Away from the dark days, especially of 2000. Away from the dark days of 1987 and 2000. And for those of you who were in Fiji then, will remember those dark days. Lagoli, the kuchikanda live may na vital no mututo tarana no dambula. Tarana no dabunwa. Quando sugot nga kine muri na bingon. ngona nonda abni babulawa na 2013. The Constitution recognizes a special place of the indigenous people of the Tauke, or the Tauke and the Rotuman people. It gives unprecedented protection of the customary ownership of their lands, recognizes their language, customary practices, and traditions. Ando bangalal tamu na marama mo ko post ngor. Thank you. But it gives unprecedented protection of the customary ownership of their lands, recognizes their language, customary practices, and traditions. Nabitan nomo, ising ko televi, nanonda ngele ni Tauke, ba sa talmo te gabo gitu. E maroroya, nanonda ngele ni Tauke. As you know, the Tauke owns 91% of the land in Fiji. And that cannot decrease, it can only increase. The constitution go, when we put this constitution together, we knew what was going to happen with regards to election, especially the political parties. They'll always dwell in the race and politics, race politics, that they will come up with the land issue. So we've sorted the land issue. But a lot of people don't seem to realize that in 2012, we discovered something that was not covered in previous constitution. In previous constitution, it allowed for the sale of Itauke land. In 2012, we discovered that. So we put in a law in 2012 that stopped the land, the sale of land, of Tauke land, from native lease to freehold. It was put in a decree in 2012, and that law was refined, and it's now in the 2013 Constitution. And Marweki Namandangele, Nitoke. And do may and around the Lemuni wasn't in the politic in sending Bulan dates on Nandangele. Mele Komai Nakango, Kome Nakango, me Marwa. Go and Marwa Nandangela. Sesanga never once has it been protected like this now in the Constitution and in the law. And at the same time, the Constitution established common and equal citizenry. Which is something very close to me, very dear to my heart, because I think the dark days of 2000 was because of lack of this. Equal citizenry, common and equal citizenry. Everyone is equal before the law. And of course, in whatever religion you're in, you know that you're all equal before God. And it ensures that all citizens of Fiji are called Fijians. But remember what we've done with the land. We've protected the land. So this term Fijians is so that we can all be equal. We've talked about the Mexicans and the Cubans and the Chinese in America. They are all called Americans. And of course, all different ethnicity Australia, they all call Australians. And that brings about patriotism to the country. The second taka nonda vanua. Komekin nabitan nongo. All equal, we are called all Fijians. And common and equal citizenry, ladies and gentlemen, is not only important to ensure that no one gets treated as a second or third class citizen. This is not only applicable between different ethnic groups, but more importantly, between different socio-economic groups. You will have heard about the infrastructure development that has been put in place since my government came into being. The political parties are going around telling people that that's the work of government, to put in electricity, water, and road. And I agree. But I tell my supporters, but when next time they come around, ask them, which government has ever done this at this pace, at this rate, and at this range? They probably build a road in 2-3 years, build a couple of schools. Somebody succinctly put it together in a Facebook about 3-4 days ago. And he said when Monosavu was commissioned, the people of Naitasiri was promised that they would have electricity. In 2006, only 4 of those districts in Naitasiri, out of the 16, had electricity. Now, the whole of Naitasiri has been lit up. About 3 months ago, when we had some flood, I went and visited the north of Naitasiri, and the electricity had gone past the most northern village in Naitasiri, in Waimaro. It was up to there about 3 months ago. Last week, I went and opened a solar project in Wainmakutu, the furthest village in Naitasiri. And by the time I got past Namosikoro, I was stopped by the population and told and asked when was I going to come and commission the electricity and the new school, because it has already reached the Namosikoro. All this development, I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, has been done because I and my government have been blind to racial discrimination. How can I do development if I forget about the cane farmers? How can I do development if I forget about the blind? How can I do development if I forget about the old? How can I do development if I put aside the differences in race? In other words, ladies and gentlemen, we should not discriminate between the rich and poor, the rural and the urban, the tenant and the landlord, the chief and the commoner. Many of you who are Fijians or former Fijians know that this was the case. The Constitution also, for the first time, ensure that tenants are given unprecedented protection through the Bill of Rights. The Constitution also, for the first time, has the most extensive Bill of Rights that not only ensures civil and political rights, but a new range of socio-economic rights, such as the right to clean and safe water, access to transportation, right to work, and just minimum wage. We have copies of the Constitution available in all 3 languages, including the Braille. What we want to tell the blind and the disabled people that we are not going to forget them. In all languages, and this is the first for Fiji. I understand not even the Australians have translated the Constitution in Braille. This Constitution, for those of you who have not read it, this Constitution tells the people that this is not the time to sit back and relax. No. Nabital no. Tono ga vital no pamalo. Ni wa balai. Tono ga vital no pamalo. O tingo na ga tarin kem do no do la chumekin. Do wa balai. No chumekin. The Constitution also, for the first time, creates an independent corruption commission. A transparency and accountability commission to keep public office holders, right from the president to the prime minister and ministers to senior civil servants, accountable. Ito ay nambuta ko na bisu. Yan ay ni constitution mo. We also have created a Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission. The Constitution also creates an electoral system where Fijians, for the first time in their history, will not be legally forced to vote along ethnic lines. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we now have, for the first time, universally accepted that principle being implemented, the principle of one person, one vote, and one value. Fijians will no longer have to stand in queues after being categorized into ethnic groups and vote. They will go to the polls and vote as Fijians. Which political party and which individual they choose will be their choice on 17th of September. The Fijian Constitution, ladies and gentlemen, is the way forward. This is the way forward for us. It has the capacity to ensure that our future is secure.
But that's all written by 2 people.
That Fiji does not become a failed state. It is for our future, it is for our children, it is for our grandchildren. It provides stability and it provides a vision. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where I speak about Fiji first. Fiji First is a political movement that is dedicated to the service of Fiji and all Fijians. Our entire agenda and motivation, as you will see from Fiji First Constitution, includes improving service delivery, putting Fiji and all Fijians first, bringing about a partnership between workers, employers, and government, looking after and bringing the marginalized into mainstream society, bringing about economic development, improving the living conditions of all Fijians, and ensuring substantive justice. Our constitution is available on our website on www.fijifirst.com. And you can also go to our Fiji First Facebook. These values and objectives of Fiji First is what we are pursuing. Of course, some of these have already been achieved and which we want to improve upon. Through my government, we have improved the law and order situation.
How about treason?
We provide for the first time free education. We have free textbooks, subsidized bus fares for the poor families. We have pension available for those over the age of 70. And hundreds of millions of dollars have been expended in rural electrification, access to water, and building and rehabilitation of our roadwork. And I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that Fiji First will continue with these programs. I also want to tell you a little about our economy. Our economy has unprecedented and sustained growth. We are to grow at 3.8% this year. International agencies such as IMF, the Standard & Poor's, and Moody's, and even the Australian New Zealand Bank have given the tip to the economy. There is unprecedented private sector investment in our foreign reserve that stand in the excess of $1.7 billion. And it's been the highest it's ever been. Of course, with my government allowing for multiple citizenship, many former Fijians are applying to become Fijians again. And this has led to new investment in Fiji. Under Fiji First, ladies and gentlemen, we want to continue with building Fiji into a modern, a just, a fair, and progressive Fiji. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. We believe the politics of deceit, the politics of fear-mongering, of being negative, should not exist. This election is a choice between, on the one hand, represented by SODELPA, NFP, Fiji Labour Party, and PDP. The old divisive personal politics where individuals want to win office at any cost so they can maintain their privileged position, advocate prejudice and discrimination, maintain a divided society, so only the few benefit and we always remain economically backward. On the other hand, is Fiji First, which is positive, inclusive, recognizes indigenous rights without differentiating other races, and believes in harmony, building a strong Fiji, empowering all Fijians, and building a strong economic base, and having a long-term goal and vision. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Fiji first.
Publish the auditor's report. Publish the auditor's report.
Now, wait.
Publish the auditor's report. Publish the auditor's report. Publish the auditor's report. Ano ito na laso?
I've been told not to worry about the devils. But seriously, I have another term for them. They are nothing but a bunch of losers. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now we'll entertain questions from the floor. Give me a second.
Madam, an auditor's report. Madam, an auditor's report.
Two. Ladies and gentlemen, we will take about 5 questions in the Q&A section. But I'd like to make it very clear, these questions are for the public and obviously the Prime Minister. So the questions are going to be excluded from the media press here tonight. So it's only for the public and for the Prime Minister.
Auditor's report.
Or like doing the MC.
Are you in the media?
Wala ka ng taro. Wala ka ng taro. Specific kayo, Mr. Mavigo.
You're not from the media. Go ahead.
Referring to the 2010 Constitution, Chapter 30, Section
2013 Constitution. We don't have a 2010 Constitution.
2010 Constitution.
By the way, before you start, you know about me,
Yes, sir.
but I don't know about you. Who are you?
My name is Dinesh.
Dinesh is from where?
I'm from Vodafone.
From Pulau. Are you related to Ngarse?
That is my uncle.
So your question is based on that, your relationship with Ngarse?
I'm not biased. This is based on my own research.
Which party are you going to vote for come 17th of September?
Soldapa.
Sudapa.
Soldapa.
So you're a Sudapa man?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I know what you come from. Go ahead, make my day.
Chapter 30.
When you ask me a question, you may be prepared to answer some too.
Chapter 30, Section 1. Right of landowners to fair share of royalties for extraction of minerals. Section 1, all minerals or under any land or water are owned by the state. So you're saying in this constitution that if the government finds the minerals anywhere in Fiji, you automatically own the land?
No.
Well, it says here, all minerals
No.
or under.
No, you got the wrong interpretation. You got the Sodelpa interpretation. You got the Sodelpa interpretation. What it means is if there's any mineral discovered now, any royalty that before royalty only goes to government. The landowner only shares the lease. Okay, do you know that or no?
Talking about the royalties.
No, do you know that?
Now I'm understanding it. Now that you're clarifying it.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, before, if I'm a landowner, I lease you my land, you're a company, and you find gold, I only get the lease money. The royalty for gold goes to government.
Royalties.
Now, the landowner is included in that royalty.
Okay. So, what is the rate of the royalties?
It'll be divided. It'll be divided. Okay. Enough. Next one.
That was one question. Welcome to the second one. My name is Vimal Kumar. I served in the military for Rambuka, for Ipeli Genilau, and I served under your leadership, sir. Your leadership was the best. I want to tell the people there's not many Indians in the army, but his leadership is the best. And at present and in future, there is no other candidate that can lead Fiji the way he led. Long live Bainimarama! Long live our president.
Thank you.
No time any other party. Fiji first.
Just take it down.
Bola vina. May bunuan din. Toko-toko.
Abarun kay may gul.
Ha?
Abarun kay may.
Warak eh?
Mati.
Warak. Sandra kay vina kay sa uray diko. Iya. Entona kay vina kay Sandra may sota. Never going right though. Ngani wisa dai may bunuan din. On a very serious note, it's nice to have you here in New Zealand. When Garase came last month, I was there as well. I've been living in New Zealand for quite a long time. I think you have done quite a lot of things at home, but there's still a lot of areas for improvement. One of my very fortunate things, they all have employment, and they're in very good positions in Fiji. When I look at the last report on the unemployment in Fiji, it's a real concern for me. I know you have done a lot of development, borrowing money, and you have mentioned the IMF and the budget and the economy. What you said is looking good, which we would like to believe. Unemployment, how can we trust that you have the right people in your government to decrease the unemployment in Fiji? Because you know, unemployment, it's going to be poverty. And you know, and I know, and people are listening around us. What you going to do to decrease the employment in Fiji? You know, education in Fiji is very good. Fiji are very well educated people in the world. So, and I just want you to tell me how you're going to close the gap when if you think your government will come back in the next election.
No. And that is, we want to stay along that line, and that we educate our children and grandchildren. Can you move this way?
As I explained, it's no media, please. It's only exclusive. No, you can stand in the corner. All the media is standing in the corner. Ham FM can stand in the corner as well.
Thank you.
Okay, you're carrying a Ham FM mic. No, I'm just saying all the media are there. I don't want to discriminate between Ham FM and other medias. It's not fair. Thank you. Please give respect to.
There are a lot of ways in which we can get rid of this unemployment problem that we have. Nicolai, you know that the retiring age was at 60. The retiring age has always been at 55. Has always been at 55. And it got changed in 2001. Because the senior civil servant was going to go past 55, and he was in charge of that, and he changed that policy. And at 55, everybody collects FNPF. That was the reason why 55 was the retiring age. Everybody collects FNPF, and you go out, enjoy your retirement. And if you're healthy and fit, you can continue with other employment. But at 55, you retire. And the whole reason then was to let people who are not employed come in and be employed. That's one. So we want to stay with that policy of retirement at 55.
But you should be retired.
This is for people that work in the government. Anyway. Okay. We talked about infrastructure. Opening up our villages and roads, electricity and water. That opens up investment in all those areas. And guess what investment brings? Employment. No government has ever done infrastructure development we have done in the last 5 years. And that was because of that. We opened those villages and rural areas up so that we can have investors in, which bring about employment. Wait, hold on. I'm talking to this lady here who wants some very serious answers about how we do. O they was in Mingo, request someone scholarship? Because someone scholarship for Matan too, what they was in Mingo? Could you be there? Go. And every time non-employment. We have in the past, you've heard about the land bank. The land bank, people say that land bank was put in place so the Prime Minister, me in this instance, can help grab hold of the land. Obviously, they lack confidence that they're going to win election. Yeah? But the land bank was done purposely so we can utilize the unused land in Fiji. What would that bring? Employment. We are trying to teach our youth not to seek employment. We're trying to teach our youth to seek to employ other youths. We've opened up tax areas. We've just built a new road in Teilevu, one of the best roads in Fiji because it's from Teilevu. But that road leads into Ra, into the Western Division, and we've made that a tax area. So anyone who wants to build business, startup investors, start investment there, that brings employment. All our economic policies have been built on finding employment. But I also tell the parents, in fact the parent had asked me in Levuka, he had 2 university children. And he said they've gone through universities and they are looking for employment. Where can I get employment for them? I said, don't limit yourself to Fiji. They are now educated. The whole wide world is there for them. And there's a whole lot of money coming from the remittance from our families that are overseas. Thank you.
My name is Jason Rowe. I just want to thank you. I just came here to thank you that the job you have done without the votes, there's no other government who has taken the vote quite a long time ago and done to Fiji and the Fijian people. You have done without the vote. I thank you very much. And the equality, and you have given us the name Fijians. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are for the last one, fifth question.
Just want to thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for what you have done for Fiji. We are also contributing from this side, and we will contribute all the time. And in the meantime, I'm so appreciative of your way that I have made a little contribution for you, for the party.
Oh, thank you very much. One gentleman here has just given Fiji First some funding, so please, I'm still here.
What's your name?
Aziz Bonham.
I'll help you receipt book. I'll send you a receipt. Thank you. Sorry. Sorry. I'll send you this.
The second.
First of all, Mr. Prime Minister, I would like to thank you for actually coming up with this constitution, which you have been reiterating so many times. May I know what is the guarantee that, like 1987, Rembuka threw out that constitution, George Spade too threw out in whatever year. What is the guarantee that this constitution which your government has, which we are very happy about, I'm very thankful for your government to have been doing that, but what is the guarantee that it will not be thrown out again? Is there any, can you give a guarantee? Or the government in Fiji, whoever the government is in Fiji, would ever be able to guarantee that? I mean, we have seen it so many times being thrown out.
So, wait. So what do you think the answer should be?
No, I'm sorry, this is my question to you.
Yeah, but when you come up with questions like that, it's a hypothetical question. You don't know what's going to happen in the next 10 years. Are you going to be around for the next 2 weeks?
I will.
How do you know that?
See, no.
You don't know that.
So
you don't know
there is no guarantee?
He's the only one that can guarantee that.
It's about the law and order situation in Fiji.
The law and order situation in Fiji has never been better. I can tell you that.
Okay. So, I mean, my question remains unanswered, whether we will see another coup later down the line.
Who's going to do it?
There was a coup in 1987.
Who's going to do it?
Sorry?
Who's going to do it? Okay.
Who knows? Who did?
Okay. I'm trying to tell you that you are asking a hypothetical question. You don't know what's going to happen. No one here knows what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. Yes? This is going to be protected. The only way you can change this. The only way you can change this is by 75% of parliament. Yeah, but you're asking a hypothetical question. So what's the answer? What's your answer? You tell me.
Exactly right.
What?
Yeah, give us some assurance that there won't be any coup. We have seen 3-4 times Fiji being battered, and Indo-Fijians taking the brunt of that thing. All right? The Indo-Fijians taking all the brunt of that coup. It was all against the race. What is the guarantee? While I'm very much happy that your government has come up with that constitution, what is the guarantee that it will not happen again?
You vote me into parliament. There'll be no coup.
Ni sambula bina ka turanga ni lulu ni maten tu wakatawa. Ke mami maro ni taun duma yoklan. Au kila na nogu tarumbe ngawi kemni. Matangali na kawin singen kuwa. We kenda na itauki. En bona mo sa eva nga tagichi ko na constitution. Au kira nga muni pa madalataka. Na bo sango itauki. Sengani wakadavari na bosa me itauke ni bonua wala itunga itauke au kila be ke mami na itauke ke mami chungo ke mami na roni bia kila se da basa manda na ke na imbalimbali me roni bakati unkina sona bakasa mai etuike na kabinsin ko naka
au sinturo de balbal nom ni bosa
balbal ni nong bosa entona yo
na itoke
yo na entona klo etu na constitution
itoke
yo etu ni itauke
ya itoke
ya esingani ya na kena bosa babalangi itauke ownership of land ya mena kena tiu etu itauke kena balbalea we own the land
oyo ko nada
yo na itauke ni banu
don ya ni kena balbal
binak okay tetap ke muroni bagada baranga en baleta na taro itu na turangan India eso na maram na turanga chungo ni chairman ni constitution committee
ya
baleta na submission sengambe kan ngole mai in New Zealand Auckland sam meki mamironi submit kina baleta na constitution raumbe ka vigrasona vimata ilawa era chungo ni sana turi na parliament meraroni submit ta na constitution constitution apa tutu meroni sona constitution baleten satu kun juga senroni aburge tagi senroni suspend tagi rawangan ni bisa ndina beka
yeah na division tagi la constitution you can change the constitution you can amend the constitution but it has to be through the parliamentary process parliamentary process
au kila naroni sauma na taro na turanga
so matadana tsingai if you want to if anybody wants to make an amendment to the constitution there's a parliamentary process and 75% of members of parliament has to endorse the amendment or just maybe can do it but it will then be brought to for a referendum for 75% of the voters to say yes to the amendment
binak and gonna guarantee we kiman na sinin total na bobe and gonna ngon mai nak na wali ba
Hello. Hello, Mr. Bainimarama.
How are you?
Good, thank you. My name is Rita Choi. I've been in New Zealand since 1977, migrated from Fiji. And last 2 years ago, we took the citizenship of Fiji, dual citizen.
Wonderful.
We lived in Fiji 2 years. We invested in Fiji about $700,000. I became very sick, ill, I had to come back to New Zealand. I'm having a problem with the land department. Everything you have done, 2 years my staying there, I can witness all these people. You have done a great job. Very great job. Very pleased with it. Indians and Fijians, you have looked both same way. And the things change in Fiji, you have done very well. Only thing why your land department takes 2 years to give a concern of transfer of the land. I've got 2 land in Fiji that we bought. We wrote a letter to the tax department regarding why we are selling and returning back to New Zealand. But Mr. Nairu is my solicitor. I even rang yesterday, no answer. It's been sitting in Latoka Concern Department for 2 years. That's all.
It's not an issue with the lawyer, is it?
No, it was a freehold, we sold it. And the people who bought was the Dalchi. They wanted to put Dalchi parts there in Queen Street.
Start again, you bought the land?
Yeah, in Queen Street. Queen Street, Nandi. Malolo, yeah.
You leased the land? Or
No, we bought the land. Freehold.
It's a freehold?
Yes.
Okay.
And they're getting our concern from Latoka. It's taken almost now 2 years. We cannot transfer the land to the buyer, still, till today.
Okay, I really don't know the
land,
details.
there's 2 things.
But I just want to tell you.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you something. If you read my comments, but 4 or 5 days ago.
Be quiet.
Thank you. But if you read my comments in the papers about maybe 6, 7, maybe 5, 6 days ago, yes. I talked about the amount of work we need to put into the lands department, yes. And then LTB. There's a lot of work that we need to put in there because of past practice. There's a bit of a corruption. In fact, we've removed 22 people from NLTB in the last 5, 6 years.
Yes, I do know.
And we're up the process.
Okay, thank you very much.
And we're going to get there.
When you go back, please look into it.
I will. Yes, I will. Give me your particulars.
Yes.
Pass your particulars here.
To Tarana, yes, I will.
We'll get somebody onto it immediately.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
What's up there? Bless. If you have something to say, then raise your hands, please. We're in New Zealand and we're actually educated people. And we're also civilized, so people, please. Mr. Bainimarama, I'm so much of a skeptic, like many of the protesters, but I'm not going to protest. I'm here to enlighten myself. And I'm trying to figure out, you've had all these great things, and I think on behalf of the Rotuman people, we would like to thank you for the development that Rotuman's received over the last few years that you've been in rule. But for me, as probably the future of New Zealand or the future of Fiji, and like many of our young people here, what is the guarantee? I think it follows on from what the gentleman down there said. What is the guarantee that Fiji's gone from a democratic to an autocratic to a democratic, and now we're going from an autocratic back to a democratic?
Go get it.
I think I've grown up around Samoans. I can actually throw my jandal up here. But Mr. Bainimarama, what is the guarantee that when if you actually win into office, the guarantee that you're going to not rule the way that you've ruled autocratically, but democratically, so that the people that have voted you in can vote you in for the further office-bearing years. Like the guarantee, I want to vote for you because of the development that you've done.
You want to vote for me because of development?
But there's always a but. There's always a catchphrase. But what are you going to guarantee to me as a voter, as the future of Fiji and New Zealand, as the future of the Pacific Islands, that Fiji is not going to go back every now and again to...
Very, very simple. Let me cut this short. Good, decisive leadership. Simple. That's all I can offer you.
Excuse me,
Auditor General
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Bainimarama. I'm Ayaz Khan, a community worker here and a Justice of Peace in New Zealand. Thank you for being with us. I was in Fiji a few weeks ago, Mr. Bainimarama, and I would like Fiji First to tell me, once you get into Parliament again, once you get into government, because I was, one of my karua, he died, he was 53 years old. And how he died was because of dialysis and the kidney failure. And I went to see him. He was in a very poor state. They are paying $200 for each treatment. And there's 3 treatments in a week. So there's $600 for a Fijian family to fork out for dialysis. So what is in store for the people of Fiji, for us? I would humbly request, because I will be seeking dual citizenship, I would love to go back and retire in Fiji or give service to Fiji as well. But what can Fiji First tell us about the next 5 years when you come into government about the health system in Fiji? How would you improve it? How would people like my karua will not die again?
You know your karua has to die someday.
Oh yes, I'm prepared to die too. I'm prepared to die tomorrow. I've done good things.
You and me are gonna go someday.
Eventually, but he could have lived.
Okay, let me explain a bit about the health system, please. Do you know that we didn't have any dialysis before? Right?
Very
Do
true.
you know that? Eh?
Very true.
So now we have it. So it to a lot of people, especially those in the rural areas, is very expensive, and we're gonna work that out. We're working on it to bring the price down. Okay, so that's the answer for your dialysis.
What about the general health?
Okay. One of the biggest budget we've been putting in government is on health and education. Health, education, and of course infrastructure. In fact, all in all it is. And we have enough money-making machinery in there to put that in. But we're trying to not only to fix the hospitals up, we're trying to bring about some sense of how should I put it? The way the patients are treated by the caregivers, the doctors, the nurses, the matrons, those working in the hospital. That's another thing that we need to work hard on. That's an attitude that we need to get rid of. Right now, there's the MDG goals. One of the MDG goals is to look at the birth rates. So, because that is a policy put to all nations in the world by the United Nations. It has not now been taken up by Ministry of Health and the government. So they said, because of the MDG goals, the mother in say Moala, ready to give birth, you can't give birth there. You have to come all the way to Suva or to Kandavu or to one of the major hospitals. But it ends there. That's the demand of the government of the day. But I tell the people in the health department, you can't do that. You can't expect this mother to come from there, bring her there, here, at their own cost. We have to foot that bill. And when she comes here to give birth, we have to look after her over here, at whatever hospital she's in. Those are some of the things that before, when the people in the rural areas want a nursing station, we want a nursing station here. The health authorities come around and said, but you have a nursing station here already. And it works, they work it on a population ratio. So a nursing station will look after, say, 200 people. So this nursing station will look after this village, and this village. But I tell the health authorities, we need to move away from that type of thinking. You cannot afford to work on the population ratio. It has to be about geography. It may have come a time when all the villages have a health station built on them. Because some of these people don't seem to realize that in the rural areas, you come by boat for 2 hours and get on a horse for 1 hour and get onto the road hoping there's a car out there that will take you to the medical center. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build health facilities in areas which needs health facilities because of geography, not so much because of population.
Thank you, sir. May I just add that we have seen, I mean, yeah, I've been to Middlemore Hospital, to the Auckland Hospital. When you walk in there, it feels like you are in Fiji because there's so many Fiji nurses there. Can we stop them from coming? Because they are quite educated. You know, give them good.
Do you want me to get a black eye now or black eye next year?
Hello. First of all, I would like to thank you, Mr. Bainimarama, for being here in New Zealand, representing our people of Fiji.
I got to thank the New Zealand government for letting me.
Not now, but I hope that all Fiji people who are present here and who are not able to make it today will give you a big support. Just recently, I've been back from Fiji, like a couple of days back. I have seen the amount of improvements Fiji government has done in the leadership of Mr. Bainimarama. Up till my age, I haven't seen any government do that, and no government could have done any better than what Mr. Bainimarama has done today. Things will eventually change. There is no country without poverty. There is no country without a medical system. But we all need to give him support. We all need to go hand in hand to make our Fiji first. Give priority to Fiji. Things will only happen if we support Mr. Bainimarama to make things go even better. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for those comments. And I also thank the gentleman over here who said that I carried out all this without being voted in. There's a slight difference in that. Thank you.
Frank, welcome. Welcome to New Zealand. I've been dying to meet you, my friend. Everyone's been welcoming you. I'd like to welcome your wife, Bernie. We grew up together in Turak. She was a keen, right? High Street. Frank, I'm a good friend of your twin brother, Lloyd Riversmith. Sorry he couldn't be here today, but he's asked me to pass his regards on to you. And also Eddie Costello, all the Lemmy gang. Thanks, Frank. And good luck.
Hello. Thank you, sir, for coming to New Zealand and blessing us. I'm very pleased with the work that you have done in Fiji. I've recently come from Fiji. I've seen a lot of development in Fiji, and hats off to you. Today, I don't have a question for Mr. Bainimarama because I have no question on your leadership and I have no doubts on this man's leadership. But I'm here today to give the answer to those two gentlemen who asked, what is the guarantee that there will be no other coup in Fiji? I tell you, my friends, the guarantee lies within you. Educate your children so that they do not pick up a gun or a pistol, but they pick up a pen and paper and do things legally and do well for the country. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for what you have done for our motherland, Fiji. Thank you.
flying over there.
Dua na taro. Kalau naman rato la ko may biti na may register na vai kay mami. Kay mami saba ka register enangai wara kiti ka nang una ni vending tingi. Ni oti ento na madawa se ro na madawa. Satu kuni tele mai na radio me kay mami bakalewa formu se kay mami apply online. Merawa ni kay mami wara kiti ba se kay mami vending tingi seseng.
Yang dono tu.
Bina kati na fomu me la ko mai biki mai mai bakalewe na me kay kauyan.
Na form itu wana website ni supervisor of election. So na form sa tungo.
Senga dia ko mai biki man.
Sen. Oni apply tangan na form. Ni apply tangan na form wana website. Na website, boleh itu ni juga dan moni you apply for those of you who have registered there and want to vote here in New Zealand. You have to get into the website and get that form, fill it in, and send it back to them, so that they can know that it's that is not a fraud. And when they will then send you the voter form for and the website you send it.
Baca ni na sendra ni ke mami fraud ni sati ko na ke mami tamba pasal ni mami yang baki na ni mami tiko ina form ya
iyo kung ana mo ni apply ta kim ni ko na kana form ni
September nga may ko sa wati may na
sa binaka juga na mo ni apply ni ko
iya kapag kaya pa kay baka nga may na form ko na ni mami address
iya isang ani kilaw ko na ni address mo ta ni sa tu ni wisdom
tiko ko na ni mami form nera registration form sa senga paling do na baya
bila no gano do kita rin do mating
In behalf of Fijian, I want to speak in Indian language. बहने बहनों, हम लोग बहुत खुशी लगे। अगर हिंदुस्तानी विधि में नहीं है, हम लोग सब नहीं सको आगे चल। आज के बाद Fiji Fest, but हम बदली हुए के God Fest. First seek the kingdom of God and let everything come after. In behalf of Fiji, I want to say thank you, Indian people. If without of you, Fijian can be proud. As today, I will be saying, God is the first to seek His kingdom. And second, I thank God choice Bainimarama. You are the man. Extend his speak louder. Then what? Is the man. Baino Baine. आज हम लोग प्यार करेगा. वोट करो फिजी. अगर मालिक नहीं है, हम लोग इधर नहीं से कुछ चलेगा. Kemenisa kana turanga ena no menisa taura na itu tuongori awa ambiuta ani na banongo ulago ani imiti omonga ani na express awale ani na Yusuba etolu na turanga ni India era au kalibira to awa sabaka India beiro to kama malaika uparwala konu uparwala oiwala toname PM Endua na kara tonga irere na bongile merto kau tiau yan saka beke bri.
Eno nungu saya vani na nomuni tiko. Au sombu saka pangor tongai busta kia we walu do sotia. O iko na kaiviti hita po sini pagi sunu makina. O ni bosota o se bondo ngamai na bus express bondo ngamai se ni sombu no ko tabu o ek mukum. Au ngole sara mai suwa. Au bena ka saka bendar lai lululu. Ngai ngole mai o roko ura na nomuni tikonge. Tukuna saka bia me kero lagi sota ai sukuna pak. Au lagi wawa saka turau tanan tuana kaloko. Sangkai kalibiau. Au siya nga nila ko sa kanya, may ngalaw kibo sa may roko ura, may kemunisa. Because God chose you to develop Fiji, but God first, seek first the kingdom of God. God is good all the time. God chose you to do the willness of Fiji.
Hello, Bainimarama. Just wanted to ask you something. You know, Australia and New Zealand will definitely be very negative after you win the election. How are you going to cope up with the negative attitude of Australia and New Zealand leadership?
I'm already here. We haven't even have election yet.
I'm very confident you will win. But already in today's newspaper, the New Zealand media is putting a photo of 3 people who are protesting. What about the thousands who are here today? How come there's no reporting of them? How come there's no reporting of the positive people who are here to support you?
I'm sure by 6 o'clock tonight you'll get the reporting done. The media journalists are actually here to get the reporting. Okay. I think we're actually running behind with our time. The last one. We'll do this to the last one. And then we have to make a move.
Actually, the measure of a good man is in the way that he respectfully treats women. In terms of your leadership and the reason why you initiated the coup, what has the worth of that been to you? And how will you give equality so that the equitable distribution of resources is available to all those under the umbrella of Fiji? For the protesters here tonight, how do you prove them wrong?
Can you repeat your question?
I'm Yolande. My question is, for all the protesters here who don't believe in your rule, how will you prove them wrong? How will you bring about democracy so equity is given to all under the umbrella of Fiji without censorship?
It's very easy. Very easy. It's very easy. I close my eyes and my ears to losers. Very simple.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great time. We're running short of time and we have to make a move. You know, I'm sure we can't please everybody, but you guys have been great. I'll probably hand over the last time the mic to So I'll just hand over for the last time, to the last words from Mr. Bainimarama to the people who have come here for a great evening.
Thank you. I just want to thank you. Thank you very much for coming in numbers to come and meet up with me. I hope you will not forget the many things that I've done for Fiji in the last 5-6 years. Vote Fiji first. Minaka.